Hi, welcome to this platform for Sensor Academy. And in today's brief tutorial, we're going to consider chemistry, which categorically is going to be science paper 2. We're going to use the 2024 GCE exam, section B focus, where we're going to use the concept of the periodic table as well as bonding collaboratively in order to express the concept and at least add on the advantage of the things that are already known by someone, either a fast or a slow learner, trying to prepare adequately for an exam. The question was on number 6, and it says an element A is in group 1 of the periodic table. Another element N is in group 7. When we talk about group 1 elements, we're talking about elements that are said to be alkali in nature. That so much means these are elements that are soft and can easily be cut with a knife. Properties for elements in group 1 includes having one electron in their last shell and also reacting by losing electrons. Then they have also a high conductivity when it comes to electric current. So the question continues. Write one property of the compound formed when element A and N reacts. For instance, this is element A. When element A is in group 1, it simply means it has one electron in its outermost shell, hence it has a valence of 1. The valence is the number of electrons an element can either lose or gain in order to be stable. So when an element is in group 1, it simply means it has one electron in its last shell, which it can lose in order to attain a stable structure. Then here, we're going to exchange it with element N, which is in group 7. Elements in group 7 have 7 electrons in their last shell. The other name for group 7 elements is halogens, and this is because when they react with elements in group 1, they can form a salt. And the reactivity series of elements in group 7 is going to increase as you go up the group, while that of in group 1 is going to do the opposite. So in group 7, we're going to find that it also has a valence of 1 because it has 7. And those 7 electrons only need an extra in order to be 8, thereby enabling this element to attain a stable structure. If we exchange the valences, this will be 8 times 1, it is A, 1 times N, it is N. So if we can observe, A has 1 electron in its last shell, which it loses, implying it is a metal. Then N has, that is 7 in its last shell, because it is in group 7, meaning it can gain, and this makes it a non-metal. So this compound is made of a metal and a non-metal, and at the same time, this type of a compound is going to consist of ions, because when this element reacts, it's going to have, that is a positive charge, then this is going to have a negative charge. So the first one says, write one property of the compound formed when element N, A and N reacts. So we're going to say the compound formed is between a metal and a non-metal. The reason for saying it is between a metal and a non-metal, the metal automatically becomes an element that has lesser electrons in its last shell, hence it can react by losing. Then for this one, we are going to find that it reacts by gaining. Given an example, if we have sodium, which is 2,8,1, this one probably can be chlorine 2,8,7. So this has a 1, and the one that we have here comes from the fact that this needs an extra electron in order to be stable. So we can see that this one reacts by losing, it needs to lose this to that. So we can say the compound formed is between a metal and a non-metal, or the compound formed involves transfer of electrons from one element to another, or the compound formed consists of ions. B. What type of bonding exists in the compound formed when the two elements react? So group 1, group 2, group 3, when they react with elements from as high as group 5, group 6, group 7, the type of bonding that's going to be experienced is called ionic bonding, which involves transfer of electrons from one element to another. So here we're going to say ionic bonding. So this sometimes is also known as electrovalent bonding. Then lastly, how does the reactivity of elements in group 1 differ from that of elements in group 2? So in group 1, the reactivity series of elements increases as you go down the group, meaning the element at the far bottom position is the most reactive element. Whereas in group that is 7, given an example, we're going to find that the reactivity series is going to increase up the group, and that is the major side of difference. So here we're going to say the reactivity series in group 1 increases as you go up the group, as you go down the group, while it increases in group 7 as you go up the group. So the reactivity series in group 1 increases as you go down the group, while it increases in group 7 as you go up the group. So the reactivity series of group 1 and group 7 elements is that opposite, in the sense that in group 1 it increases down the group, in group 7 it increases up the group. And for sure, this is just one of those fundamental questions under the periodic table that may highly influence the positive preparation properly needed by any candidate trying to prepare adequately for a science paper 2 exam. I hope this video may be found to be beneficial in terms of adding up to the list of the things that you already know, plus ensuring that you add it up to everything that also can result in self-reliance and self-dependence. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're watching this on our Facebook page, make sure you turn on the post notifications that you get notified when next we post a new video. Till in the next video, for now, it's a very good plan.